Hey, good evening. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph, and I am the host of this show, and I can't get my hat straight here. So this is the show that's dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So this is my Wednesday night favorite show, and I apologize in advance for being late. For some reason, my phone just kept ringing and buzzing off the thing, and I had to deal with all these things, and then finally I realized it was getting close and I hadn't even started. So here we are, Wednesday night favorites. I've decided to try something a little different. I've seen a couple of other people do this, and I thought, hey, that looks like it'll be fun. So I'm going to try it myself. So we're going to rank the songs from one album, from the least liked song on the album to the most liked song on the album. I've seen a couple of people do this. Thought this was kind of fun to do, right? So that's what we're going to do tonight. So I decided to do it, and I picked this album to do it with since it's been in the news here on my channel a few times lately. I thought, give it another shot. Such a great album, fantastic album. So we're going to do my top. Well, it's not actually my top. We're just ranking the songs on this album according from least to worst. I wrote them down, thought about them for a bit, and there's a funny part about this album is that most of these songs have jumbled all over the place over the years. The stuff that was at the top originally and moved down, and then some of the other stuff moved up, and then that moved down, and then some more stuff moved up. And there's been a couple of songs that have been up there pretty close to the top most of the time, though. So we'll just get to it. Let's just get to it and do the ranking of the songs on this album, Back in Black by AC/DC, one of the truly great albums of all time. Okay, so we start off with the number 10 song, which is Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. It's not a coincidence, it's the last track on the album. It's almost like it was a throw-on. It's not a bad song. I would probably give it a 5, which would probably be by far the worst on this album. I just never really took to this song very much. Never did nothing for me. So, I guess it's just a kind of low kind of drama album song that doesn't really have the normal energy that you get from AC/DC. So it just don't really care for it that much. I don't dislike it by any means. I just, for some reason, it's never been one of my favorite on the album. So the next song up is quite a bit of a jump, and this is Have a Drink on Me. I've had times where I really like this song, other times not so much, but it's another kind of low-key song. I just like my AC/DC high key, and this just isn't as high key as the rest of them. So the first two at the bottom, kind of a little off, but the rest are just great. So then we get to the third song, Let Me Put My Love Into You. I like this a lot more, even though it's a little bit on the low-key side. Not too bad. It's pretty good. Then the number 7 is a song, one of the big three. The big three hits on the album. My least favorite. Never was my most favorite song on the album, but I never disliked it or anything. I like it just fine. It starts the album off really well, and that's Hell's Bells. The next track up is up there in 6th today. It's never been greatly high on the album, but I've always liked it, and it goes through phases with me where I'll listen to it quite a bit, and other times not so much. And that's Shake a Leg. Pretty upbeat song. Okay, then you get into the top half of the album, which I think is really unprecedented in a lot of rock bands. Don't have the number of songs that are like this great on an album. So we get to number 5, which most people are probably going to put right near the top, if not the top song, and that's You Shook Me All Night Long. Great song. Was my favorite originally on the album, but just the wear and tear and burnout and constant overplay have kind of hampered this one and put it down a little bit. But still a great tune, just fantastic. If I was giving it a number, I'd give it like a 9. So that means the rest of these songs are at least a 9 or better. The next song up is only in 4th place because I've listened to the album a couple times recently, and I just really like to listen to this particular track now, and that's What Do You Do for Money, Honey? Great kind of AC/DC hammer song, I call it. So number 3, the top 3, their top 3 on any album. Back in Black, the title track song from the album. Always like that song. It's got a heavy beat, heavy riff, and just crunches along from top to bottom. It gets a little bit of overkill on the radio and overplay by people, but I still really like it a lot. It doesn't suffer from as much burnout as Hell's Bells and You Shake Me All Night Long. And that's Back in Black. Okay. The next two, Giving the Dog a Bone, I've always kind of liked this track quite a bit. It moves up and down, but generally speaking, it's usually in the top 5 for me on this album. I always think of it as being one of my favorites on the album. So coming in at number 2 is Giving the Dog a Bone. And of course, that leaves only the one track that we haven't mentioned, and that's Shoot to Thrill, which not only is my favorite track on this album, it's also my favorite AC/DC song and one of my favorite songs. I know I've taken a little bit of heat from AC/DC fans saying, well, you couldn't pick a better song in the Bon Scott era than this one. Yeah, I guess I probably could find one. There's quite a few that I really like from the Bon Scott era that are right there with this song. But for this period of time, Shoot to Thrill is the one that I like. I just like that heavy driving. It's kind of similar to, for me, as You Shake Me All Night Long, except for it doesn't get nearly the airplay, although it does get some airplay as that song, so it doesn't suffer nearly as much of a burnout. So there you have it. Those are my AC/DC ranking the songs of Back in Black. So we'll just reiterate them. Shoot to Thrill, number 1. Giving the Dog a Bone, number 2. Back in Black, number 3. What Do You Do for Money, Honey, number 4. You Shook Me All Night Long, number 5. Shake a Leg, number 6. Hell's Bells, number 7. Let Me Put My Love Into You, Babe, number 8. And Have a Drink on Me, number 9. And then the low end song, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. Still not a bad track though. No bad tracks on this album. This album is a masterpiece album. Great album. So there you have it. So I thought I'd try it. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'll try it again sometime. I was going to do a top 10 from Cheap Trick, but I decided that, you know what, I want to try this and see how it goes. So anyways, that's it for tonight. I hope you liked, and please subscribe. It's much appreciated, and we'll be back next week with another Wednesday night favorites. So take care. Bye.